Hey there, everyone. Welcome to another one of my retrospectives. Right, we're going to talk about the third realm of. Actually, I wonder if that right now it's really interesting because we do this every 10 episodes, but it seems like every single time we've just finished one of the realms. So what if I should just do this at realm end? Like, I don't actually think that would involve a change. Like, we've been super consistent about like these happening at the end of realms. But regardless, we just finished the third realm. We went ahead and beat Kezelik. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about what has happened, what we think. Obviously, we met two new party members in this area. So first, I'll talk about Dolahim. I am torn about Dolahim. First of all, I thought it was really cool. The beginning of Elde Menacia worked exactly like I was hoping it would. It was amazing because you ended up with a situation where the quest of let's call him Saray, the quest of Alphen to go in and liberate all the people. They didn't need to do anything to Elde Menacia, and so Kiss or not Kisara, Shion and him kind of got into a disagreement and got into a feud because she still needed all of the rulers to be like taken down, and he was like, he's already doing what we want," and she's like, "Well, he's not doing what I want because we don't know what her goal is," and I do really want to know what her goal actually is because she won't tell us, but still, very good opening to that, very good like lead in. Was super happy with that. And then Dolahim himself, I've got to say, I think he may have the best characterization in the game, only because he's like the double bluff, and I'm really interested to see what he's going to do because he's a ridden asshole. With some psychological problems, you start off and you think he's going to be someone a little bit like Alphen, like basically what would happen if Alphen was born into ridden nobility. Um, and he became lord under some suspicious circumstance. I don't think we ever found out what happened to the previous ridden lord or why um Dolahim took over, but you end up in a situation where you think he's just like, these are people and they deserve to be respected, and no, he is very much sold on the Riddens are superior boat, like way more than Shion is. We don't know why Shion wants to take the lords down, but it's pretty likely it has nothing to do with trying to bring like liberty and freedom to the Danans. But even then, she doesn't really approve of like how the Draenens are treated. My read on Shion is still that she's from Rinna itself, and so she needs to put it into the crown game because she even made a statement in here that the crown game has an effect outside of Danon itself, and so she's trying to put it into the entire cycle. But I don't think she gives a shit about the Danons. But she also doesn't approve of how they've been treated. It's not something she would fight for. But Dolahim legit doesn't see anything wrong with the status quo. It feels like it's just that he really hates to hear Danon's cry, and so that is what bothers him. That is just such a reverse of what we thought. Like, on the one hand, he's an asshole and I don't like him, but on the other hand, it makes all of the sense that he would think like that because yeah, like at the end of the day, he was raised as a pampered son of a noble. I actually don't know who his dad was, but like there's a reason he became lord when the previous lord passed away or whatever the fuck happened. So he's been very privileged. And then he's just like, yeah, it was less of a bother to me to free all of the slaves than to deal with the occasional discomfort of hearing them unhappy. I'm sorry, Dolahim is one of my absolute favorite characters. I can't wait to actually play him and put him into the party. And like, he seems really interesting and really fun. I don't like him, and I expect a lot because that's one of the big problems. The only real conflict that's happened in the party is between Rinwell and Shion, and even that is starting to abate. We actually heard Rinwell like haltingly thank Shion for healing her in some of the fights. Like, it seems like the voice lines are changing and the two of them are not at odds like they used to be. So Dolahim is going to add this whole new layer of like the party not getting along, squabbling, and coming to understand each other. So I'm actually really happy with that. It also kind of makes a lot of sense with why he was just like not approachable and not really willing to listen to Magal. So Magal did what he had to do, but let's talk about that. I've talked about it quite a bit. I'm not going to retread old ground too terribly much, but I will a little bit because I know there are some people who only listen to these. Miguel and the way in which Miguel died still bothers the fuck out of me. And there's several key reasons for that. Number one, they talked about how Miguel was force fed the fruit of Helgen for weeks, and all it actually did was it caused his hand to get like silvery a little bit. But suddenly he ate one and it killed him on the spot. Now, that said, I thought more about it, and typically what happens is they mix it into your food. They don't make you eat the raw fruit of Helgen, but at the same time, he was like captured. They were trying to kill him, so why wouldn't they feed him the entire fruit of Helgen just to get it over with? So it's still it feels a little unreasonable that he died in that spectacular fashion. However, he did kind of say that because of his exposure to the fruit of Helgen, like he only had a couple of weeks left anyway, like it was slowly taking over his body. So I do get why he would be more willing to just kind of throw his life away. And that made sense. I do also have to say that like I need to know more about Dolahim because I'm not sure that I buy the idea that Kisara cries over her brother and that's enough to send him into a homicidal rage where he just like attacks everyone nearby. Like I get he doesn't like it, but that's a pretty extreme reaction. And one that I don't think they've really done a good job of selling to me. I don't really buy it. So, how much does it cost? I'll buy it. So that's another small issue I have with the way it was handled. But overall, for the most part, I do really like Dolahim is interested, and I've gotten more and more okay with Miguel. The big issue that I have is that, we didn't really get time to get to know Miguel or to give a shit that he killed himself. And that's a problem with Zephyr. We were with him for like 2 entire realms before he like was executed. And his last speech, knowing that it would be the end of his life and just trying to get through to the Daemons and to be like, no, like there's more to life than what you're living. That really spoke to me. That was cool. I liked that. I did not at all like the way in which the like they handled Miguel because we basically followed the cat to him, had one scene with him, and then after that one scene he gets together with Dolahim and he's like, okay, I need to drag you around into the middle of a place before I'll tell you fucking anything. Like he isn't able to answer a simple fucking question. He's just like, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. And I'm like, you could have been talking to Dolahim this entire way. You could have been like, yeah, there's this fruit, and it causes this to happen here. I'll show you. There's this lake down here. Like, basically, I feel like Miguel's entire approach was to not trust Dolahim to be intelligent. I think Dolahim got his back up way before we got to the lake, and was just like, you are a patronizing piece of shit. No, I'm not listening to you. So, not the best response. Definitely not, super great with Dolahim over that. But at the same time, I get it. And on the one hand, that could be a character flaw of Miguel's, but again, we don't know because we know fuck all about the guy. And it really bothers me that they didn't really explore who Miguel was and let us actually have a connection with him. Speaking of which, another issue I have is that after we beat Kezelik, Kisara just like left and we invited Dolahim with us. And the two of them have a lot of unfinished business, and we also got to the point where we were okay. Like, what is Shion's deal? Why does she need all of the lords to be taken out? And why does it not matter if, like, Dolahim isn't defeated if he just, like, renounces? Like, there's so many questions, and nobody seems to care about the fact we don't know the answers to them. And that's annoying as fuck. Like, I feel like no one in the party, even Ridwell, who should be, like, a freaking bushel of curiosity, even Ridwell just doesn't seem to care about all these things that are not adding up, and it's bothering the shit out of me. But then, yeah, like, Kisara, I really feel like it's gotten the raw end of the stick. I feel like there should be a major scene with her and Dolahim and to address all of this stuff. And to be fair, we might be just about to get that. We did end right as they were like, hopefully we'll find her before we leave the city. But it just really feels like they don't care about what she must be going through because, like, Miguel killed himself just trying to get through to Dolahim. And Dolahim is doesn't give a shit about the Danans other than his own personal frustration. I know I said this at the time. I would have loved if Dolahim had just like shoved his stave straight through Kezelik's chest. That's another kind of the issue I have is that no one seems willing to rock the boat. We should have vastly different personalities and like a lot of I don't want to say conflict. I don't want the party fighting with itself over much. But yet we had Dolahim basically letting Kisara off him, just basically following his knee, like, waiting for Kisara to kill him. He is not someone that has a lot of sanctity of life, and he got betrayed by Kelzelik. But I really would have liked to see him just. I want people willing to. Everyone in this game is like this non-violent revolutionary, and it bothers me. Like there should be some difference of opinions. There should actually be some character growth because people's preconceptions are being challenged, and that this isn't happening enough, and it bothers me. And lastly, let's talk about Kezelik or Kelzelik. God, he frustrates me. He's a nothing character. We know even less about him than we do about Magal. That's the big thing I've got to say. Like, I feel like there are four key players in Elde Menacia. There is Dolahim, Kisara, Megal, and Kelzelik. And two of them just got absolutely no screen time and no interest. And they should have had, like, I almost feel like the game feels rushed, which is odd, because it took 5 hours to get through this area. But they need to give these characters room to breathe. They need to let us actually get to know them. All I know about Kezelik is that he was annoyed that his boss wasn't trying to win the crown game, and so he betrayed them for some other lord. And that's like his whole character. On the plus side, he did run off, so maybe we'll find out more about him, but it felt even shallower than Balsac. Like, Balsac was just a guy that wanted power. We ran into him and we killed him. And this is just a guy who wanted to be a Ridden, and he thought being Ridden meant helping, the Danans be overcome and to get power. And that's like his whole character. And I'm just like, if you're going to, like, I don't even know who I should consider the boss of Elde Menacia. Is it Dolahim or is it Kelzelik? Like, Kelzelik is the evil character, but also he's completely forgettable. I guarantee you, if there was like an open mic and you guys could talk to me, and you talk to me about Kelzelik, whenever I did my next retrospective after episode 40, I wouldn't remember his damn name. It's just like Ganabelt. Like, Ganabelt, I happened to review before this. I'm not gonna remember Ganabelt's name, and he is the like lord that has the most backstory and most thing of interest. Really, really liked him, at least of the ones that are actually antagonists. Dolahim is weird, but that's where we are. Again, bit of an issue that I'm having. Like, the most we've had in terms of character growth is that of the four established party members is that Shion and Renwell are no longer at each other's throats. They seem to have more or less accepted that the other one is an okay person, which is cool. But people are basically getting over their initial issues, and then they are just kind of staying stagnant while other characters are introduced, which on the one hand is not a terrible thing. We are still introducing primary party members, so it makes sense that we're not going to have this like Law and Ridwell focused arc in the middle of introducing Kisara and Dolahim. But I do hope that changes, and now that we have the 6 of them, I am presuming we're going to pick up Kisara on the way out of the city. But now we have the 6 of them, hopefully that will change. Looking forward to it, and I will see you all in the next one. wait, I lied. There is actually another one that I want to talk about, and that is that at the end, after we like beat Kezalik, we hear about how the like it's like oh, it's our dream was just a dream, and but it's her just like you know we have the Danans and they fought for this, including like the Gold Dust Hat Cats. But yeah, we saw fucking no one the entire time. It feels really, really lazy to have this apparent Danon like revolution fighting the rebels somewhere and no indication that it was happening anywhere. Like, it just kind of feels like a hey, we don't have to do anything, but it would have been cool if we'd actually had like some sort of conflict going on, if we'd heard like fighting in the distance. Especially if we thought that the Riddens were like trying to kill off the Danans, and we were like, oh no, what do we do? And we're like, we have to go after the Ridden High Command. We have to like suppress this. We can't just go around the city trying to fight every Ridden. We don't even know which ones are on which sides, but if there had been some reference to the fact that there was actually fighting going on, like they said they were expecting it, I think I think we did hear a little bit of it back at the end, actually, now that I say that. But it feels completely unsupported by anything we saw. Just a little bit of a hey, by the wayism. So yep, also didn't like that. Now I'm done.